Hare Krishna. So we'll have a little bit more kirtan. So our process is called Sravanam and Kirtanam. It is called Sravanam and Kirtanam. So we hear and then we chant. We hear, then we chant. So if somebody is leading, we hear at that time. And after that, we chant and the speaker hears. So like once you go to yoga, right? If you just see maybe some yoga guru, right? We might not gain anything, right? Yes, it's good to know. So our process is bhakti yoga. So in this process, as I said, the process is hearing and chanting, Sravanam and Kirtanam. So to get the full advantage of this program, we have to be part of it. We cannot be just a participant, but a part of it. So that you can really release the program to the fullest extent. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Grivaradhari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Grivaradhari Yashodanandana Gaja Jana Ranjana Yashodanandana Gaja Jana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Loudly everybody सब बोलिए Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare प्रेम से बोलिए जोर से बोलिए Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Hari Bol Hare Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare जोर से Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare सब बोले Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Nitai Gaur Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaur Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaur Hari Bol Jayo Jayo Prabhupada Prabhupada Jayo Jai Prabhupada Prabhupada Jayo Jayo Prabhupada श्री श्री हरिनाम संकीर्तन यज्ञ की शिला प्रभुपाद की समवेत भक्त वृंद की हिताय गौर प्रेमानंद हरि बोल। Please repeat after me. Om Ajnana Timirandhasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshur Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamini Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirbishesha Sunyavadi Paschata Desatarini Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Krupa Sindhubhya evacha Patitanam pavanevebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So I seek the blessings of our Guru Parampara. I offer my obeisances at the lotus feet of our founder Acharya, His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. And I seek the blessings of all of you to share some thoughts, some minute realizations that I have after going through a couple of years in this process of Krishna consciousness. So I'm very thankful to all of you for choosing your time with all of us, because here nowadays the most important property or the wealth is the time, right? And you would have many more options on this Saturday evening, but you have chosen to come here to celebrate this wonderful festival with all of us. So we are very grateful to all of you. So today we thought that we'll speak something on prasad. we remember prasad and prasadam is here. So prasadam means, the literal means of prasad is the mercy. The mercy. The mercy of the Lord. And the mercy of the Lord can come in various ways. It can come as this beautiful garland which has been already offered to the Lord. Right? Or it can come as the blessings of the Lord. It can come as a beautiful prasadam of the Lord. It can come as a wonderful association of the Lord. It can come as a wonderful association of the devotees of the Lord. So we'll talk about, right, who is searching for this higher taste? Literally everybody, isn't it? Either you talk about animals or you talk about even the human beings. All right? Everybody looking for some mercy, some happiness in their life. Is there anybody who is not looking for happiness? Is there anybody who is not, want to have some bliss in their life? Right? Everybody is looking for the happiness, and everybody is looking, through various ways. Right? Right? Once you talk about even the animals as well, they want to spend time with the family. Right? We don't know it's a quality or quantity time, but definitely they also would love to spend some time with their families. Right? Or want to get some happiness by eating some food. Right? Either it's on the roadside or on a river side or on a restaurant side. Right? Or it could be like sleeping on the tree or on a luxurious bed. Right? Or we would like to have some happiness, right? Finding a partner on the street or in a very beautiful resort. Right? So here we see that how different people, they want to have their basic necessity of the life, right? Either with eating or with sleeping or mating, finding a partner, or defending ourselves, with the different means, whatever they might have. And with that process, they sometimes, right, go left and sometimes right, left, right, and somewhere they are left, which is not right. Isn't it? We see most of the people, everybody is searching for happiness. Right? But why? Right? This mirage of happiness, right? It's always, right, not coming into our hand or into our senses. Sometimes, while the children are kids, they think that, okay, maybe once I grow up, beyond the control of our parents, maybe I'll be happy. Once I'll go out of the school and I have as many as toys, I'll be happy. Right? Or sometimes we come out of the school, then maybe just this, I'll get out of this entrance and then I'll be happy. Right? I'll get some good, college as a IIT or NIT or MIT, whatever institute it is. But then once you end up that institute, then we say that, oh no, you have to study hard. You cannot just time spend like this. Right? And then we end up, oh, maybe I'll get a good job, my dream offer, right? Then I'll be happy. Once we pass out, we get whatever the company we may get, and then we feel that, okay, now I have a good job, maybe I'll get a dream girl, then I'll be happy. Right? Okay, somehow we get, and then we think that, okay, maybe, right, apart from this nice office, nice family, right? Yes, I need to have some children, now education for the children, right? I want to have some sufficient bank balance, right? Then it goes on, right? And then somehow we see that, right? Our hairs become gray, and then we don't have any energy further, And then somehow, we thought that, okay, we were searching for something, but we never attained it. Right? Especially during the kids' time. Right? They have a lot of energy. You have seen? Right? Like just a couple of minutes back, how they were shouting. Right? They wanted to channelize their energy, but they were not finding anything. Right? So then we discussed that how we have to channelize the energy of these young kids. Right? They have a lot of energy. They have a lot of time as well. But but especially another third thing, most of the people they really look forward to is the money. Usually they don't have. They really depend on the parents. But once we really grow up, right? Yes, we have a lot of energy, right? We have a lot of money as well, but then we don't have time, right? Which is the category we are. But then we end up little more elder. We have a lot of money, and also a lot of time, but then we don't have energy. Right? So we always think that, okay, maybe after some time, right, there's a perfect time, I will get peaceful time, a lot of energy, lot of money, right? But still we are searching for that, right, happiness, but it's not coming to us. Is it that the people who are the richest, they are the happiest? Is it so? Why? We all look forward to the money. Money is honey. Either money or honey. Isn't it? Why don't you think money will give real happiness? Or maybe once you have a BMW, right? Bima. Or maybe once I have maybe a nice flat in SB Heights, or nice villa, maybe in Others Palm, right? Or that give me the happiness. And here, once you talk about happiness, we're not talking about this, the flickering happiness that we get in this world. Because the happiness that we get here, right, it's called flickering. Flickering means, yes, we get the happiness, right, but it's temporary. It's temporary for some time. We get a new car, yes, we are so excited about it, right? Alright? Like, of course, before that, we are just looking forward to, okay, when I will get it, when I will get that car, when I will get that car, we have so much of hankering, right? And then, once we have it, yes, for some time we are happy, and then we start, having some anxiety, okay, koi to aage side se thok to nahi dega. Right? Isn't so? Right? और कुछ थोड़ा सा दाग कहीं पे लग गया क्या? Or insurance, this, that, right? So much of anxiety. And as time passes on, we realize that car or the dream house or the dream girl or whatever it is, fades away. And then we start lamenting. Right? And उसी हालत धृतराष्ट्र का भी था. धृतराष्ट्र का क्या था? पहले वो सोच रहा था कि मेरे पास कब ये राज्य आएगा. फिर जब राज्य आया तो वो सोच रहा था कि ये कब निकल जाएगा. हर टाइम पे वो सोचता रहता था. वो एंजाइटी में था. फिर उसके बाद as it was supposed to be, right? Then he lost everything. वो सब कुछ खो गया. फिर सोचता था, सब कुछ खो गया मेरा. And कोई भी ऐसा मुहूर्त नहीं रहा वो कभी खुश था. We want to live a life of धृतराष्ट्र. हम धृतराष्ट्र की जीना चाहते हैं. How? What to do? We just roaming around, going around, right? You see, ask anybody, just think about it, right? We are going fast, very fast in our life. If you ask anybody in this complex, apart from this beautiful members who have gathered in this clubhouse, everybody would say that, oh, we are too busy, we don't have time. We don't have time for all this, right? This is for maybe some oldies or maybe some different kind of people who are not supposed to be, in this city, Bangalore, hip culture, right? But once we really, dip dig little further, we understand that everybody is suffering. Everybody is suffering, right? Either through physically, emotionally, mentally, whatever we say, right? That's the reason, right? We're just thinking that how people try to get it. Some people try to get some happiness through some tradition. Okay, if festival आया, वो festival आया, थोड़ा सा celebrate करते हैं, right? And then, but nowadays this new generation, they started, defying the tradition, right? Or you talk about the culture, chalo, just follow the mass, follow the people, whatever it is, we don't care, we just want to be part of the world, we just want to be part of the the world, and we do all nonsense things, right? Or sometimes we think that okay, right? It feels good to me, right? So I'll just do it, right? So either through tradition, culture, or through mood, we decide what is right and what is wrong. Or sometimes think, okay, forget about tradition, culture, or mood. I am a logical person. I am a rational person. I use my logic to understand what is good and right, what is right and wrong, and then I'll choose the right one, right? But we understand that how, right? If you just even see a stick on a bucket of water, we feel it's bent. There are so many optical illusions that we get, right? Either it's a sensory illusion or a mental illusion. We face so many times, right? Isn't it? Like if it would have been really the best in rationality as well, then we would not have, like in our softer world, version 1.0, 1.11, 1.112, right? Version 2.0, version 3.0. Why? Because we go through some learning, like we have done some mistake, then we try to go through. So we cannot say that we are always right, or we cannot say that we get what we want, right? Or so what happens that we always look for some lighthouse to decide what is right or wrong. We understand what is lighthouse. Lighthouse का मतलब समझ सकते हैं? Especially क्या होता है कि especially in the earlier days, right? When you're really getting lost in the ocean, really they find out, okay, this is the lighthouse of this place, and they navigate their ship, just looking at that lighthouse. But what will happen if that lighthouse is really fluctuating or is going here and there, right? That's what it is. Like sometimes we follow our tradition, culture. कोई आज ये बोलेगा, कल कुछ और बोलेगा. Sometimes you feel that नहीं ये अच्छा लगता है मेरे को. Sometimes नहीं, maybe this looks very, rational, right? We have so many things to decide what is right and wrong, and we think that maybe that will give us happiness, right? But we end up always, in some place where we don't want to be. Isn't it? Or am I saying something wrong? So we always end up with so much of stress, and you might realize that, okay, it's not true. I have some beautiful statistics, right? That's from, right, not only from the western part of the world, but also in India, right? Where it talks about 46% of this Indian workforce suffer from stress, right? And 77% of the people, they suffer from the psychosomatic stress. Means they really go through not only mentally, right, but also, right, it affects their health as well, and in a longer period of time. So, like most of the times, the psychiatrist goes to another psychiatrist to get some help, right? Yes, people are now not talking about this modern as problem. They are not talking about, right, some physical problems. Yes, there are many, like cancer, or blood pressure, or diabetes, or this or that. But everybody, in most of the families, we have this one common problem, right? Depression, stress, right? And right, and it's very, very much, especially in the teenage. We might not realize it. If some parents, they have a teenage children, they can really appreciate it. They are so lonely at home. They are so lonely at school. And because parents are busy, right, and school, they are having their own agenda, and they are just left behind. Just think of the children for some time. Right? What exactly they are going through. So much of competition, so much of pressure. क्या है कि parents, they want their children to be number one in studies, number one in sports, number one in extracurricular activities, and number one in social skills. What else? Isn't it true? Most of the times, there was some research done, and the kids are saying that the source of their, most of the times, their pressure is really parents. And you cannot believe, right, what is happening right now. This is the statistics of India. I'm not talking about the Western world. Right? There is an increasing number of not only attempts of suicide, but also suicides. And you might have seen some papers as well. Right? How it is happening. Just, and prestigious Santiniketan just, a year back, right? How this one young, talented girl, she took her life, right? They are, sometimes so accustomed to, okay, I'm the number one and I want to be number one. Sometimes they get to number two, they get the pressure, whether it will make my parents happy or not, whether it will make myself, proud in front of my peers. They take their life. They are not able to handle their decisions. And who is responsible for it? Yeah. We have to nurture them. We have to guide them. Just like a sapling. The sapling, right? Like it's not enough just to, take care of their, some soil and some fertilizer and some water. But you have to protect them also. You have to protect them. Right? Now we're talking about every age group. Right? Yes, every age group, they're going through so much of stress. And I was telling now currently, right? Like, you understand which is the country which is the highest suicide rate in the world in this teens and twins? Do you know? Any other guess?
India.
Yes, it is India. And which is the capital suicide city of India? Sometimes we don't know where we are. It is Bangalore. It's not some, something, what do you call it, mythology or this or that. This is the statistics. And once like especially in India, right, this could be the tip of the iceberg, right, because most of the events are not reported as well. Right? Like we are just going through very, very dangerous situation. Right? It's very important. So like sometimes we might think that, no, it's not happening to us. Right? So how do you understand, right, if my child, right, or especially all of us are going through some stress or not, right? So, there are a lot of things. If we find that our child or ourselves would like to spend time with our own, right? Have you asked any point of time, right? Or sometimes we ask also, right? They feel that, okay, why you are calling me, right? Why you are disturbing me? It happens in the office atmosphere as well. Right? Like there is so much of depression in the office. So much of depression. There is so much of because of the fighting, because of the career growth, because of this pressure, that pressure, project timeline, right? So many things, right? And people are not able to handle even the success. They are not even able to handle success, right? Like some people say, right? The day when there is a match between India and Pakistan, and if India wins, there is a much more criminal activity happens than if India loses. Because we're not able to tolerate, we don't know how to celebrate success as well. Isn't it? Right? So how do you really go through it? Right? Is it that I'm just giving a pessimistic view of the world? Or is it a realistic view? What do you think? Yes, it is, right? And these are the situations, the programs, right? Which we can take this opportunity to really awaken ourselves, to realize ourselves what exactly we should do for ourselves, right? And then what we can do it for others, right? Once again, I'm just giving this example of this wonderful family right here. This Deepak Prabhu and Deepali Mataji, right? And there is like this kind of programs are happening in all across Bangalore and all across India and all across the world. What is the motive of them to organize this program? They don't have any selfish motive, right? But it is called a Vaishnava is a paradukha dukhi. His heart bleeds once he sees this kind of situations. His heart bleeds. He suffers so much that what can I do it for others? How can I really bring them into a rational lifestyle where they have some sanity in the lifestyle? All of us know that, right? How it's everywhere. You talk about schools, college, office, in the apartment complexes, everywhere there is so much of negativity. But here, once you come in the satsang like this, once you chant the Lord's holy name, once you glorify the Lord, once you take some nice prasadam, life becomes completely different. Completely different. And with that, this family, once again I was talking about, they had just come into Krishna consciousness just 2 years back in one of our Janmashtami program. Right? And then you really love it, because it's not that we are losing anything. You're not losing anything. Right? You are gaining. Right? That's what, right, there was one sculptor. Like, I'll also tell a lot of stories, because sometimes you tell some stories to especially infants or small kids so that they will sleep. But we tell stories to elders or the grown-up kids so that they can wake up. Uttishta, they can wake up. Right? So yes, these are the wonderful stories we hear from Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, Ramayana, Mahabharata, to inspire us, to illuminate us, right? To make an impact into our life. So we are discussing how we can make a change, and ask the Lord, right? What can I do and why? Why I'm doing it? So we are not saying in this process that you just follow blindly. Right? Once you talk about Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, all our scriptures, it's not that Lord or devotee saying just one way monologue. All the scriptures, right? They are question and answers. Right? Sometimes people say, this religion means just a blind faith. You just follow whatever is being said. No. It's all full of question answers. Right? One of our founder Acharya's favorite book is, perfect questions, perfect answers. Right? The important thing is that we have to know what is the right question to ask. What is the right question? Why I am suffering? Why I am suffering? Why good things happen to bad people? Why bad thing happens to good people? Why? Right? It's not just just to live with it, right? And it's not just about just going through our life, right? But while we go through the life, how we can grow in our life, right? It's not just about just earning some money, right? But how we can really make our life as a full of learning. Right? How can we really, it's not about just extracting some information. Yes, now in this information is everywhere. Right? You open any TV channel, or you open any YouTube channel, or this or that, they're full of information, right? But it's really up to us, how do you really take it, right? The purpose of our life is not to be just a winner or a loser, right? We say our purpose of our life is to be a chooser, right? How do we really choose our life to take it? Because our life is nothing but, right, how we make a choice, how we make a right choice. Always we should ask, is it a right choice? Because everybody say, as we said, either through tradition, culture, or mood, or logic, yahi a right choice, baba. Right? But we should ask, is it really? Is it really the right choice? Right? Because in our life, we have been given a specific amount of time. Right? Especially in the geometry, you might have heard, right? Something called a segment. You know segment in geometry? It's called segment of A, B, B, C, B, D. Right? A segment of BD. Our life is a segment of BD. What is this? Birth and death. Right? And in this segment of BD, right, there is something in between. What is that? C. Right? B, C, D. And the C is nothing but the umpteen choice points we have in between B and D. Right? So umpteen choice point, how exactly we use our life to make the right choice. How do you make the right choice? We have to learn, right? How do we make the right choice? How do we make the right decision? Right? Right? How do you do it? How do you know? Any thoughts? कैसे समझ सकते हैं कि यही सही रास्ता है? कैसे लेंगे उसको? How do you understand that we are in the right direction? Sometimes we go very fast, right? But we don't know what is the goal. Is there a meaning to that driving? आप हाईवे में जा रहे हो, let's say Bombay highway, right? This road is very good. You drive in 120, right? But somebody asks from the back, बाबा कहाँ जा रहे हो? Tap tap. कहाँ जा रहे हो? No, don't disturb me. I want to go very fast. Right? Yes, everybody is going very fast in their life. Right? Somebody is working on some, a computer, a laptop, or some Mac, right? And then somehow or other it got infected with a virus, right? And somebody's colleague is saying that, my friend, do you know that your system is infected with the virus? Don't disturb me. I'm working on an important project. But we don't know that, like just a matter of time, that whole system will crash and you will not have anything. Isn't true? That अभी हम इतना पैसा कमा रहे हैं, इतना सब कुछ कर रहे हैं, just a couple of days, right? Or maybe months or years or decades, everything will just go away. Isn't it true? We have seen so many people, like yesterday, right? One of my neighbor, right? He works in Intuit, and he was saying that they had an Intuit day, and one lady was just crying, while just addressing everybody. She was saying that just last year we had an Intuit day, and suddenly I got a call, right? And in that call, what I came to know, that my husband passed away. With what? Just with a honeybee sting. Nothing, right? Nothing. Just like that. Just something bitten, and then that person left. Or this is like this sudden accidents, right? The cancers. There's so many diseases, so many things comes up, right? It really comes as a surprise. But isn't that anybody that this D will not come to anybody's life? It will not get terminated. But everybody is thinking that I'll live for forever. Isn't it true? And any point of just before this program, right? We had one more program, right? And there in that program, we had a wonderful family, and they are just leaving this house and going to a new house and a better house, right? Because they had a planned well, and they had invested nicely, right? But what would happen, let's see, if a person would not have planned anything, right? And suddenly the owner of the house would say that you just leave immediately. Do you know how much pain it would be? Right? If you're staying in a rent for somebody's house, and then the owner immediately says just leave the house right away. Right? It doesn't happen like that. Similarly, the death comes at any moment of time, and it says that just vacate this body and go to another body. Right? But in other case, let's say this person has really planned during this his lifetime here, he has really earned well, and he has already invested a nice property, right? And then he will look forward to go to that house. Whatever happens here, isn't it? Right? So it is not that if somebody takes into this process of Krishna consciousness, right, that the death will not come. That we are not promising anybody that there will be a problem-free life. Right? But what exactly this process tells is that you will have a purposeful life. Right? Yes, this process is not only sublime and blissful in this life, but also it guarantees a happiness and a blissful life and the next as well. Right? This is the process that we are talking about. Na tad bhasyate surya, na sasanka na pavaka, yad gatva na nivartante tad dhama paramam mama. Lord is saying to Arjuna in Bhagavad Gita that, oh Arjuna, there is a place, Vaikuntha or Goloka or Vrindavan, right, where there is no place of this hankering, anxiety and lamentation. Right? You don't have to work in HAL. Hankering, anxiety and lamentation. Mataji works in HAL. So you don't have to work in HAL. You have to just be at the service of lotus feet of the Lord. And in that place, right, there is every step is a dance. Every word is a song. Right? And every prasadam is a feast. Would you love to be in that place? Yeah? Still hesitant? Yes, because we are hesitant, that's why we are still here. Right? Yes, that's the purpose of the Lord. That's the purpose of the devotees of the Lord or representatives of the Lord. They remind us about that beautiful place. Right? It is there for us. It is there for us. It is reserved for us because He's our eternal Father. That's our real home. That's why Prabhupada has brought a beautiful magazine called Back to Godhead. We have to we have to return to our home, the real home. And it tells us how to go to that home. Right? All the scriptures, right, that's we know. Right? It's all this process of self-realization is all about to understand who we are, who is the Lord, and what is the relationship between us and the Lord, and how can we approach the Lord, and what is the result of that. Right? In technical terms, this is called Sambandha, Abhideya and Prayojan. What is Sambandha? To understand who am I, and who is the Supreme Lord, who is the Supreme Father. Right? Different people might call in a different name, but yes, there is one Supreme Lord. Right? And then, what is the relationship between the living entity and the Supreme Lord? Right? And then, it talks about how to reach, how to serve the Supreme Lord. Right? And that process is called Bhakti. And we understand our position is just an eternal servant of the Lord. We can be happy by serving the Lord and His devotees. Right? And then, what we get is this eternal love. Right, which we cannot imagine, right, with our the senses, right? Because sometimes we wear a red glass, everything looks as a red glass. So we cannot understand what is the real love of the Lord, right? Right, the best love that we can really understand, right, in this world could be a little bit mother's love, right, which we can compare a little bit about Lord's love. Right, of course, right. There are a lot of things, and tomorrow is Mother's Day. We'll spend a little time on that. Right, but what is this path of self-realization? Right. With this, I'll just like to tell one story. So, once upon a time, right, there was an eagle, right, flying on the sky, peacefully, blissfully, right, and suddenly. By chance, right, sea eagle laid an egg on the nest of, you can say, hens, right, and then because of the motherly love of the hen, right, she hatched, incubated the eggs, and of course she realized that the special egg is a little bigger size, is taking more time, but mother's love is like that, right? Wanted to put all the effort. It's okay, whatever is a big or small, gives pure love to everybody. So she spent more time, and over the period of time, right, she got that special egg also hatched, right? And then the special, chick-chack, small, chick, she was thinking that, oh, why I'm not, feeling the same as others, right? Always thinking something different, right? Other chicks, they were just going around, just taking small, grains, and just doing chick, 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 like that. But this eagle, always thinking that I'm not feeling comfortable here. I want to fly high whenever I see the sky. But then, the peers, they're saying, are you a fool? Can you fly? If you just fly or you go to something, then you'll just fall down and be dead. And then he was just thinking that, okay, I'm just one among all this, and I'm just living through that life. And suddenly, right, one day he realized and approached, the master of that, hen assembly, and why I'm feeling so, why it is so, right? He said that, right? Ask the question, why? Why? Right? And then that wise person realized that you are not among the chicks, right? Just go to this top of the tree and start flying. And then she started trying, fell down, started trying again, fell down, started trying again, fell down. But then finally, of course, that's in the DNA of that chick. And once that mentor or the head of that assembly, saw that, okay, just look up, see the sky, see the beautiful sky, and you are meant to fly, right? Once the chick heard, then they started flying, right? So with that process, with this story, what do you understand? We have to understand what is our identity, right? Who am I? I'm just here, as we discussed, like all the other living entities, to sleep, to eat, and to mate, and to defend, and sleep nicely, mate with some nice partner, or eat some luxurious food, right? And our acharyas are saying that if you're just doing what the other living entities are doing, so maybe we can be called as a sophisticated living entity, or a sophisticated animal, but not as a human being, right? So you have to understand, who am I, what is the purpose, and then we have to start thinking about how can I raise my potential, what I meant to be, not like live like dogs and cats. That's what our Srila Prabhupada used to say. We are not meant to be here just to lose our life like this, right? Now after so many, like it is mentioned that, right, okay, we can give this example, like a person, right, a student goes to IIT, right, and goes to IIT, and after that, there are so many avenues, like music club, sports club, yoga club, this and that, and somehow he got absorbed in so many other things, but he forgets the goal that I have to study also. Will it fulfill the objective of going to IIT? Right? Yes, the purpose of taking this beautiful human birth is to ask that beautiful question of why I am suffering, how can I really come out of it? And once we ask that question, then we call as a human being. That's why in Vedanta Sutras, the first aphorism, it's called Athato Brahma Jigyasa. Because now you have taken a human form of life, you have to ask, you have to do Brahma Jigyasa. Right? We have to ask that right question to the right person. Right? And take the right, place. Right? So once you talk about really ISKCON, right, this International Society of Krishna Consciousness, it gives three things to us, right? It gives the philosophy, right? It gives the philosophy in terms of our books that Srila Prabhupada has given us, so that we know and we can discriminate what is right and wrong. Right? Yes, we can discriminate what is right and wrong. We know what is that fixed lighthouse. Once we follow that one, then our path will be sublime. Our path will be blissful. Right? And we see that there are so many generations, so many millenniums, right? People are following these wonderful books, these wonderful scriptures, and we have not seen version 1.0, 1.2 or 2.0, 2.3. Everybody talking about the same. Because by just reading these wonderful books, by following these books, right, it gives us the knowledge so that we are able to differentiate what direction we should go. What direction we should go. That gives us the ideas, right? It not only gives the intuition but also the information, right? But beyond that, right, what it helps, right? It helps us realize that who are we, that how we are a justice spirit soul, right? Anybody, you can see that, right? I understand all of you are going through this beautiful Gita course where, you will be, it's a systematic step-by-step course, right? Where we are trying to understand, trying to realize that who are we, right? Right? We cannot come in the day one and ask, right, can you show me God? It's just like, some small boy, kid, asking, maybe a professor, can you tell me, what is this derivative of dx square by dx? What is this? I know it's a d, what is x, but I don't know d, and what is this snake-like symbol? What is this all? We might not know at that point of time, but we have to go through a systematic process to understand what is derivative, what is integration, what is calculus, what is advanced geometry. Right? So on the day, once you just follow this process for a certain period of time, and the right association will be able to gain it in a matter of time. Right? First of all, we should be qualified. Right? I cannot say that, oh Prime Minister, why you are not here? If you are not here, you are not there. Can I say like that? I should be qualified enough to be seen by the Lord. Right? I should be qualified. I should be able to hear from the people who have seen, right, some head of the country, or maybe if somebody, let's say, traveled some place, right? If somebody talks about that place, once we get an idea out of it, right? Then they say that how this material world, how this place is a place of correction. It's a place for not for just only for enjoyment, not only for enjoy madi, not ये जगह ओनली मस्ती करने के लिए नहीं है, ये होटल नहीं है ना. हमारा आचार्य लोग बोलते हैं ये एक हॉस्पिटल है, ये हॉस्पिटल है, यहाँ पे मेडिसिन्स दिया गया है. हमारा एक चैतन्य महाप्रभु एक बहुत सुंदर से बोलते हैं, आने छी औषधि माया नासीबार लागे हरि नाम महामंत्र लाओ तुम्हें मागे. बोलते हैं कि ये एक हॉस्पिटल है, इस हॉस्पिटल में आपको मेडिसिन भी दिया, मेडिसिन है, उसका डॉक्टर है, बट यू हैव टू फॉलो द राइट डॉक्टर एंड राइट मेडिसिन, बिकॉज देयर आर सो मेनी अदर swindlers, so many other kinds of doctors are there. Yes, there are so many other hospitals are there. There are so many scandals like kidney scam, this scam, that. So it doesn't mean that there are no bona fide doctors are there. Yes, there are so many people who are cheaters. There are so many swindlers are there, but it does not mean that there are no saints. It's up to us to find out who is the right, who is wrong. Right? If you just have maybe 5 rupees of wealth, and then you go to a grocery store and you say that, okay, I want this diamond, right? Definitely they will cheat you, right? Once you understand the price, we have to pay a price for it. Most of the times we don't know what is the price that is awaiting us, and we are not willing to pay the price. Oh, हमको ये छोड़ने का है, वो छोड़ने का, ये करने का नहीं बाबा, वो तो हम नहीं करेंगे. Just give me something that I'll have some nice blissful life, and I just wanted to continue all my nonsense activities, right? Yes, there will be a lot of people to grant you all the blessings like this, and then we end up in just falling in the ditch. Ander yathander upaniyamana. It's like, if just a blind person can lead another person, another blind person to the ditch. That's what all happening. But we should be sensible, right? So the person who are coming to the Krishna consciousness, right? That's what we asked. We should ask the right questions. We should ask why. It's not just about just following blindly, right? So that how we understand that this place is for a correction, right? Like it's a jail, right? We are, because of our misdeeds, we have been entered here, right? But now we have to reform ourselves to come out of that jail. That's why it's called Durg, right? And the head of this Durg, this jail, is called Durga, Mother Durga. She continue to inflict such different kinds of miseries, right? But our acharyas are saying that this place is not a concentration camp. You know what is the difference between a concentration camp and a jail, right? I was in Munich, Germany for a couple of years, right? And just next to Munich, there is this place called Dachau, right? This is the one of the concentration camps by Nazis, right? Where they used to take all the Jews in hundreds and thousands and millions and put into these gas chambers, and they used to really burn them. Really, literally burn them, right? But our acharyas are saying that this place is not meant for, right, to just kill us or take our life out, right? But here we are saying this is a jail. This is a process. This is a place for reformation. This is a place for correction. This is a place for rectification, right? But it's really up to us to make that effort, right? To follow it, to understand it. And for that, we can approach, right, from the age-old process. Who was the first teacher? Who used to teach us? Who is the first teacher? Mother. And this, I thought I'll share something because tomorrow is also supposed to be Mother's Day, right? Isn't it? I tell mom means wow. If you just see it other perspective, you have to see in different perspectives. You see mom, and you can just put it in another way. It's called wow. There is nobody like mom, right? There's nobody like mom. And we see that what exactly the teachings mothers used to give to their children. There is this beautiful example of, who is this? Shivaji Maharaj. Shivaji Maharaj. We learn, we know that how, right? She single-handedly brought up, her younger son Shivaji, right? In just a place, right? With this beautiful literatures of Ramayana, Mahabharata, right? And then not only scriptures, but also how to live a life of values, not to just to collect some valuables, right? How to live a life of values. And you know that, we know all his history, right? That's why he is called Rashtra Raj Mata, Jijao, right? What kind of an impressions, right? That's why as a parent, as a mother, our responsibility is to give right impression for our children, so that they really look forward to as a mother or a father. It's very important, right? Maybe some other time we'll talk a little bit more on the parenting, because it's very important. But right, we should take some responsibility, right, to live a life of values. Then only we can impart the values to our children. We cannot expect values from our children if you don't follow that same. Right? A simple example. We are always busy in our Facebook and WhatsApp, and then, right, whenever our kids, they hold their parents' mobile and start playing games, then we tell them, don't take my mobile, or don't play with the mobile, or don't play with the apps. Will it have any impact? Will it have any impact? So for them it doesn't make any difference whether it's a WhatsApp, or it's a Facebook, or it's a games, or it's a any other site they want to surf. right? Yes, you are wasting your time, and why you are telling me so? Today's kids are very smart. Very smart. So how we can really live a life of example? Are you really willing to pay the price for it, to bring your children in a purposeful life? Right? Or, right, we hear this example from our ancient scriptures of, who is this? Mother Queen Kunti. How she sacrificed her life, right? Bringing this 5 sons, right, to live a life of values. How to be dedicated, our life for the pleasure of Krishna, who is supposed to be her nephew. Especially in Srimad Bhagavatam, this is a beautiful prayer. She narrates, and how, right, she teaches her by example, right, how to be dedicated, right, and living a life of higher purpose, right? Or if you talk about the contemporary world also, anybody knows who is this? Who invented the light bulbs? Who is that? Thomas Edison. You know this story? How many know the story of Thomas Edison? Yes, some of you know already. This Thomas Edison, well, he was a small boy, right? One day he got a note from his teacher, right? And he handed it over to his mother, and mother saw it, and she was in tears. And this boy asked, Mommy, what happened? This teacher sent a note that you are really a special child, and you need a special education, and that school is not good enough for you to give that education. And so they asked us to take care of you at home, right? And then she gave, right, the son a life of, right, a purpose, right? And then we hear that how, in spite of so many failures, right, hundreds and thousands of failures, right, he didn't budge from his determination, right? So are we able to give this power of discrimination and determination? Are our children able to discriminate what is right and wrong, and are they determined to follow what is right? Right? Then Thomas Edison said later on that yes, today Thomas Edison is a big person, is a big scientist, because of his hero mother. It's not just he just born, and a great person is not born. He's really nurtured, right, by the parents, right? So it's important that how we live a life of values, because sometimes, right, what happens, like especially in our ISKCON, we do a lot of programs for various age groups, and sometimes the parents, they send their children, there's a nice kids program happening, go there and learn something, some sloka, some stories and things like that, right? But they hear some stories, but once they come back home, they see a different lifestyle from parents, right? So whether they will act on what they see or what they hear. Yes, because that is right, because mommy is doing, papa is doing, let me also do it. Isn't it? So how we have to give that love, right? That will really make them do even impossible things, right? Apart from mother, right, we have to take the association of these saintly persons. The saintly persons, who have dedicated their life, right, who are living a life of purpose, right? The acharyas are not just who speaks, right? Yes, there are so many people who gives nice kathas, right? But if you see their life, right, it's a full of nonsense things. But a true acharya, a true spiritual master, Prabhupada says that, right, who is the person who is 100% Krishna consciousness, who is following what he is saying, who is a person of integrity. It's not just saying, are you saying what you are doing, and what you are doing, are you saying that? That's the person of integrity. Right? And we see so many examples how a small boy, either Prahlad or Dhruv, just by the association of a saintly person, they transform their life. Right? Or now we see in this modern age, right, Srila Prabhupada, right? We don't have time to really share what he has done now. Right? Right? At the age of 70, he was really, preparing for years and decades, right, to fulfill the message, to fulfill the instruction of his spiritual master, that preach and transform the heart of the English-speaking people. And his life is full of preparation. And at the age of 70, with heart attacks over a cargo ship, he went to US. From the capital city of spirituality, which is Vrindavan, and he went to the capital city of all the fantasy land, which was New York. Right? And he went there, and then he saw that it's full of people who don't have any culture, right? They were really the hippies, right? Full of drug addicts and doing all kind of illicit things. There was nothing. But just by his association, by just his purity, by simplicity, by his humility, he transformed them. And he really made them happies, from hippies to happies. And it's not a small thing. You can bring some magic things from something, right? But to transform a heart of a person is really the most difficult thing. Don't you believe that? Right? Because as we already said earlier, to get something is very easy, right? And it's just a flickering things. But to transform somebody's heart is the most difficult and most valuable thing. Most valuable thing. Right? And he could transform not only one person or some tens of person, hundreds of person, thousands of, and really lakhs of people. And all across the world, he transformed them just because of his purity. And not only he did that, but he's continuing to do so. Right? Over the generations. Somebody just comes in contact with his beautiful book of Bhagavad Gita or Bhagavatam or Chaitanya Charitamrita or even a small book. Right? We can understand that his life is completely changed. His life is changed. From a selfish person, he becomes a really selfless person. From very arrogant, he becomes a really humble person. Right? They are, we cannot believe, right? Like people who are taking real drug addicts, they were drug addicts, right? But now they are super high class Vaishnavas, and they are now instrument in bringing so many beautiful, families, right, to a life of sanity, right? So this is what we call mercy. This is what we call higher taste. This is the prasad. Right? And the second aspect is really the holy name of the Lord. Because this name of the Lord, they are not different than the Lord himself. Abhinatvam nama namino. The name of the Lord and Lord, they are not different. Right? So if I say like water or jal or pani, our thirst will not get mitigated. But if we say the Lord's name from our heart, Lord will appear in our tongue. It's up to us, right? It's up to us, right? How sincere we are. Like the small kids were there, they would be crying, "Mummy, mummy, mummy." The mummy will be in her own world. Once the kids start a little bit more, seriously, sincerely, "Mummy, mummy," then mummy will go and bring some toys to the children, right? And then the kids or the small kids, they will start crying, "Mummy!" Mommy will forget everything and will go to the kid. "What do you need now?" "I just want a hug from you." Right? So we have to call out sincerely, seriously. Otherwise, yes, Lord will give so many things to us. Lord will give a nice toy, nice car, nice house, nice this or that. So, we have to, that's why, our devotees say that, please ask right thing, have a right prayer from the Lord. Because it will get fulfilled. Because you are in front of the Lord who is giving, who is able to give everything to you, and you are just asking, oh Lord, right? This Srila Prabhupada gives this beautiful example, right? There is this old lady, and she is taking a big burden of logs, right, to that village, and she is saying that, oh my Lord, I'm suffering so much, wish you could have been here. And because she was so sincerely praying, the Lord was in front of her and asked that lady, oh lady, what happened? What do you need? Oh my Lord, I'm suffering so much and I don't have anybody else to support, and having so much of big logs, a bundle here. Can you help me in transferring from this side to that side? Right? So what are we asking from the Lord? Right? We have to make that right choice. Once we are with the right association of the people, then we'll be able to make the right choice. What we should ask from the Lord. How we should ask? Yes, not only for ourselves, how we should ask for others. Right? And once we remember, right, this name of the Lord, it has so much of potency that it can help us in removing all our anarthas. It can, not only acts as an antivirus, right, which keeps us from all the anarthas, right, but also it acts as a really like nectar, which is a, right, we call the icing on the top of the cake, right, and it's a nectar. That's why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says that, Cheto darpana marjanam bhava mahadavagni nirbapanam Shreya kairava chandrika vitaranam vidya badhu jivanam Anandam buddhivardhanam pratipadam purnamrita swadanam Sarvatma snapanam parama vijayate Sri Krishna Sankirtanam. All glories to Sri Krishna Sankirtanam, because it can help us in transforming our heart, in removing all our anarthas. It can give us all the nectar, all the amrut. It's not the nectar to leave us eternally, right? Because recently there was some news article that there was a person, right, who was, I think, more than 100-year-old, and he was desperate to die, right? And then he was just going through some assisted suicide, assisted death, right? Because right, people, they don't want to leave, because they are so fed up, right? A person, right, it doesn't matter, right, whether you're living or dead, but what he really wants is that, am I able to transform my consciousness? Right? This beautiful story, right, is there in Ramanujacharya, Sri Sampradaya. There is a devotee called Govinda, and he was so compassionate devotee. He was living near Tirupati. Right? And then one time his spiritual master saw that he was just playing with a snake. What he was doing? He was just trying to put his finger, on the mouth of a snake. Right? And then his spiritual master saw that and asked him, what are you doing, Govinda? Right? No, I see that there is a thorn inside this, mouth of the snake, and that's why the snake is suffering so much, and I cannot bear the pain of the snake. And that's why I'm trying to take out the thorn. But do you realize that the snake will bite you, and it's a poison, right? And you will be dying. And as Govinda said, oh Lord, oh my spiritual master, right? If the poison of the snake is much stronger than the poison of my heart, then yes, I will die. But then I will bath in the river of Biraja, and then I'll go to Vaikuntha and I'll serve the Lord. But if, right, my poison in my heart is more stronger than the poison of the snake, then I will leave. And after this, I'll take a bath here in this Puskara and I'll continue to serve Lord Balaji. For me, there is no difference, right? For a devotee, for a Lord, I'm not saying that he takes that risk, but we cannot imitate the great persons. But we have to understand the mood or the spirit of that great persons. The mood of compassion, the mood of living a life of purpose. Right? We cannot do that mistake. Please don't do it. because you are not at that stage, right? Because you have not lived a life of purity. So you cannot imitate those, this pure devotees of the Lord. But we can really understand the mood of these devotees of the Lord. How they have lived a life of purpose. They lived the life for others. Right? And that's why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Bharata bhumite manusya janma hoilo jar, janma sarthaka kari kara paropakar. Whoever has born in this pious land of Bharat Bhumi, right? What they should do? Janma sarthaka kari. Yes, you should make your life fulfilled, purposeful, right? Then you should make your life, make others' life also a purposeful. That's the true, the welfare activities that we can do. Not to just, yes, if you can give some food, clothing, shelter to somebody, that's good, definitely. That's better than who is not doing anything. But beyond that, how can we help in somebody's, transformation of the heart? Right? How can we take them closer to the Lord? That's a much bigger welfare activity, right? And this is the third aspect of prasad, or the mercy, or the higher test, right? That's there in front of all of us, right? The prasad of the Lord, right? And we cannot understand, right? What is the glories, right? The Prabhupada says that the taste of pudding is in eating, right? So most of the times, we realize that the tasty or the deliciousness of the prasadam, after we eat it, or we remember, the first prasadam that we took it someplace. Right? Why prasadam is so tastier? Anybody knows? Why prasad, the food that is offered to the Lord, which is so tastier? Anybody knows? Or do you think it's a tasty or not? And definitely much, not. Even if you get a little bit of halwa somewhere from some, some temple or some program, or especially, our ISKCON halwa is very famous all over the world, or ISKCON halwa, or even a khichdi also, right? That we cannot replicate anywhere else, right? Why it is so tastier? Why? That's what I said. Whatever we do, we should ask why. Don't take anything just blindly. Why it is so tastier?
It's offered to Lord.
Yes. What else? Bha. Very good. What else?
It's full of love.
Full of love. Yes, right. Now there are three things, right? First thing is that they are prepared, they are cooked with so much of love. This is not for my enjoyment, this is for Lord's enjoyment. ये भगवान के लिए है, मेरे भोग के लिए नहीं है ये, right? And second thing क्या है? ये भगवान के अर्पण करें. We offer it to the Lord. We offer it to the Lord. And then it is glanced by the Lord. It's already tested by the Lord. Lord, tests the prasadam through his glances. Once it is tested by the Lord already. Third thing is that, what happens? We serve everybody with love. It is cooked with love. It is offered to the Lord with love. And it is served with love. Right? Love is the most important aspect here. Right? Which is different to go to, maybe you go to any other 5-star restaurant also, but they have a hidden purpose to it. Maybe somebody is paying for a repeated customer, or maybe a good tip from the customer. Right? But now he's doing selflessly. But here we see that whoever has made this beautiful, delicious, so much of prasadam, they didn't have any hidden agenda. Oh, somebody will realize, this the prasadam that I prepared, and somebody will appreciate me. No, just they wanted to offer it to the Lord, with so much of love, and they wanted to offer it to everybody. Right? That's why you see, even one of the professional singer, he says that whenever I sing in some professional concert, I don't get so much of happiness. But once I come to a temple and glorify the Lord with whatever talent I have, I feel so much of bliss. That is the true prasad. I'll give you one, a simple story, and maybe then we can go faster. So this happened in a place called Estonia. How many of you know Estonia? Estonia, It's closer to Scandinavian country. Yeah, I was there in Finland also for a year during 2000, and this next to Finland, border of Russia. right? And this capital of Estonia is called Tallinn, right? And there, right, because of Srila Prabhupada, now, right, the centers of ISKCONs are there everywhere, right? On 10th of April 2012, right, the residents of the center, the ISKCON center, they got a call. Maybe around 3 p.m., they got a call. And the other side, there was a voice of a lady. She is telling, what exactly you are offering to the Lord Jagannath. How many of you are from Puri or Lord Jagannath? Lord Jagannath, you know? This beautiful Lord Jagannath Baldev Subhadra Mai. So what exactly you are offering to the deities? And they said that, okay, usually we offer this during the daytime, and this one we are offering in the evening. Usually we offer some milk, because the devotees, they take very light prasadam in the evening, and we also offer light prasadam to the Lord as well. And then this lady is chastising this residents of the center. Why you are starving the Lord Jagannath? Right? What happened? No, Lord came to me yesterday night and she told me that, see, these devotees, they brought me to the center, but now they are not giving me anything. Right? They're just giving a cup of milk, every night to me. Right? But how did you know about it? Yes, right? Somehow or other, Lord showed me even the place and the center, and I searched so many, our Back to Heart magazines, right, to find out, right, the phone number of the center, and that's why I'm calling you, right? And then this lady, this Mataji, on the other end, she also telling, and I see that you have couple of mangoes, right, and you have not yet offered it to the Lord. And this devotees in that center, they got completely bewildered. What's happening? And that's true, right? They had kept couple of mangoes because it's a little green, right? They were not ripe enough. They were thinking that maybe it's not sweet enough, so it's not right for the offering to the Lord. But then they said, okay, sorry, whatever happened, but we'll ensure that we offer nice prasadam to the Lord in the evening as well, and we'll offer mangoes also. And once again, after 2 days, this lady once again called. And yes, Lord told me that yes, he's getting a nice prasadam. And what you had offered, is it paneer? Yes, so we are offering now a sandwich paneer to the Lord, and we already offered mangoes. And not only that, once we took that as that offered prasadam, the mango prasadam, we found it was very sweet. And now, after realizing this, right, the devotees started offering more and more and more to the Lord. It's not that, right, we believe the Lord whenever He performs some miracles, right? He performs some miracles or some mystic powers, right? Just to increase our faith a little bit. Because, He is Atmaram. He's Atmaram. He's self-satisfied. He does not need anything from us. He's Atmaram. He's self-satisfied. Right? The thousands of goddesses of fortune are there to serve Him. लेकिन जैसे बोले कि वो क्या देखते हैं? वो भाव देखते हैं. वो नहीं देखते हैं कि आप क्या ऑफर कर रहे हैं उनके लिए. आप देखते हैं, भगवान देखते हैं आप किसी भाव से भगवान को अर्पण कर रहे हैं. वो भावग्राही जनार्दन है. It's very important for us to live a life of mercy, to live a life of prasadam. How we can, whatever we earn, right? It's not that we are saying give everything to some cause, right? But take it as that I am the trustee of whatever I am, either it's a house or it's a children or whatever I have, right? Once we live a life of just a trusteeship, right? मेरे ये it's in care of me, it's in trust of me, right? But it's all belongs to the Lord. इसीलिए सब घर को क्या बोलते हैं? भवन बोलते हैं. Why we call the house as a bhavan? Why we call as a house as a bhavan? क्योंकि उस घर में, उस भवन में भ पहले है, भगवान पहले है. अगर इसमें भगवान नहीं होता है तो भ नहीं होता तो क्या हो जाता है? वन हो जाता है. And then there is a constant fighting between the husband, wife, parents, children, these, that, because that's the life of animals. That's what they do in the forest, right? But once we keep the Lord in the center in our house, then this house doesn't belong to us. We are answerable, accountable to the Supreme Lord. then house becomes a temple. And we are just a caretaker of the temple. We are just caretaker of the children. Like even a husband sees a wife as that, okay, she is the representative of the Lord. She is a devotee of the Lord. A wife sees a husband, he is also serving so nicely, and how much respect I should give to him. The life becomes a love and respect. Right? So it's not only that, right? Like once you follow this process of Krishna consciousness, something awaiting only at the end of the life or after the life. What we are trying to create is the life where we can live our life peacefully. Like one time, one of the reporters asked Prabhupada, oh Swamiji, you are saying that, right? Oh, this will happen, that will happen, right? And you believe in this Lord. But just wait a minute. If you realize that towards the end of your life, that there is no God, what will happen to you? What will happen to you? Right? You have dedicated your life and you are just living like this, and you are putting so much of effort. Isn't your life full of waste? Right? You have lost everything. And then Srila Prabhupada says that, do you know how much of blissful I am? Right? With this wonderful prasadam, this wonderful associates, right? Our just life is all about, dine, drink and dance. Right? Dine, like we have nice feast, and drink, yes, not drinking anything else, but drinking nectarian holy name of the Lord, nectarian pastimes of the Lord, nectarian katha of the Lord. Right? Not only through our mouth, but through our ears. Right? We drink the beautiful form of the Lord through our eyes. Right? Yes, it's all about dining, drinking and dancing. It's full of wonderful dancing. Right? And I have lived a life of just a bliss by practicing this process of Krishna consciousness. But what will happen to you if you realize that at the end there is a Lord? Right? You have wasted all your life. आपने पूरा जिंदगी ऐसे खो बैठा कि सोचे कि भगवान नहीं है, लेकिन आपको फिर पता चले कि भगवान है, तो आपका क्या होगा? थोड़ा सोच के देखो. That's what we should realize. Here in this process, we are not asking anything, we are not losing anything. Right? Yes, there could be some obstacles, but we should take the shelter of Giridhari. Right? Yes, Vrindavan में भी ऐसे कुछ problem आए थे. Right? But then everybody came together and took shelter of the Lord, and He gave us the shelter. Right, in this Govardhan. That's why we should pray to the Lord. Oh Lord, oh Almighty Lord, oh Supreme Father, oh lovable Krishna. Right? Please give me the. Can we repeat? Oh Lord, please give me the courage to change the things which can and ought to be changed. The serenity to accept the things which cannot be changed. And the wisdom to know the difference. समझ सकते हैं? हम भगवान से यही प्रार्थना करना चाहते हैं कि भगवान हमको इतना शक्ति दीजिए, कि हम we can be the instrument, to change thing, to be the, हर टाइम पे बोलते हैं कि ये प्रॉब्लम है, वो प्रॉब्लम है, this problem, that problem, so that we can be the instrument to drive that change. That's what Mahatma Gandhi used to say, that, right? If you want to drive some change, it should start from you. Right? You have that courage, you should have that strength, you should drive that, you should lead that. And the second point, we should have serenity to accept also if something doesn't work. Right? It's the Lord's desire. And third, Lord should give us also the wisdom to know what is to be changed, what is not to be changed. Right? So, right, with that, right, I would like to summarize it. Today's session, I'll just put in this acronym of Pursuit of Higher Taste in ISKCON. We call it I stands for I am just an insignificant soul. Right? मैं just Atma हूँ, and there is a Lord which is called Paramatma. I'm just part and parcel of the Lord. right? And understanding this, I have to seek the right guidance from sadhu and shastra. I have to take help of the scriptures. I have to take help of sadhus. Recently, right, just a couple of weeks back, we are having a program in Others Palm Serenity here in Kadugudi. And one gentleman asked, right, is it okay that I come once to the program, that's good enough? Right? Once I just came, association of the satsang and the wonderful devotees, is it good enough? Right? Then we asked that question, is it okay that if child comes to you and say that, Papa, I'll not go to school anymore, I had gone last year, or I'll go today only, or I went yesterday. Or can I, the Olympic champion, can say that, okay, I did my enough practice, I'll not do practice anymore, but I want a medal. Or is it okay that, I ran my antivirus package, right, and I'll not run it tomorrow? Is it possible? Right? Because we are constantly bombarded, by so much of viruses from all the sides. Right? So you need to have that immunity. You need to have that vaccinations every day, every morning. Right? It's not just about coming even once a week to the program, to the satsang. How every moment that we said, every moment, every point in our life, how you make the right choice. How you can always think, how can I get one step closer to the Lord? How can I live a life of purpose? How can I really live the life which is really given in the scriptures? And what is guided by the sadhus, right? And then we understand that this process. What is this process? Krishna, his message, his holy names, and his prasadam are not different. So if you are not able to do anything, the least thing what you can do, honor prasadam. Right? And then slowly and slowly, right, Lord will give the intelligence, Lord will give us the faith once you are sincere enough to practice this process of Krishna consciousness. Right? And it can be done only in the association of the devotees. I would request all of you, this is my humble request, take advantage of it. Right? Yes, right, devotees are coming forward, stretching themselves to organize these programs. Please take advantage of it. Please take advantage of it. And I'm saying, right, we had started a program, right, in our this hoodie area, maybe around 10 years back, right, and now that was one of the program, right, we started. I mean, now if you see in this Kadugudi area itself, right, we have so many complexes, these programs are happening. We talk about Chaitanya Samarpan, Nitesh Forest Hills, this Mira Homes, then Sobha Amethyst, then there's Others Serenity, right, and so many complexes, there are so many wonderful families are practicing. And forget about going towards Whitefield or Marathalli or Indiranagar. But there are very few, right? Still, I would say, right? Somehow or other, Lord's arrangement is that somebody is staying here, somebody is taking an initiative, and one of our devotee from Bhakti Center, though he's so busy, right, with so much of other engagements, he's coming and giving the association, giving you the right values that you can start learning and start following it up, right? Please take advantage of it. You should not be the loser, right, or should not be the miser thinking at the end of, and I had the opportunity but I could not use it, right? It's for us, it's for our parents, it's for the kids, it's for everybody. Now it's not only for specifically for Matajis or specifically for Prabhujis. It's not that for gents there are no problems. Either it's how we can live a life of ethics and morality in our corporate life, because you see that how even the big shots, right? Like during one of our convocation ceremonies in IIT Delhi, we had an alumni award to Mr. Rajat Gupta. You know Rajat Gupta? Anybody knows? He used to be the managing director of one of the dream consulting company like McKinsey. Right? All of you know what happened to him. That yes, you might have everything. The purpose of life is not really about being rich or being famous or being having this power, prestige, or fame or profit, admirable distinction. Right? It's really living a life of purpose, living a life of values.